Hey team, thank you for joining another badass unscripted episode. Today I've been tying together various threads on thoughts of failure and scaling and fit and effectiveness, really. Here's the idea. Lately I've been harping on the notion that you can't transform a whole organization, because trying to flip an organization upside down and suddenly making everything they do agile, not only is it going to fail, but it's just not the right thing to do. Not everything needs to be or should be agile. Now, you may also know I'm big on fundamentals, so here's a fundamental for you to chew on and work on this week. In the same way that an organization should not endeavor to make everything they do agile, a coach or a scrum master or a podcaster or a speaker should not endeavor to reach and convert and help everyone that they meet. The truly beautiful thing about all the choice that we have today is that you can read whatever authors you like. You can subscribe to whatever theories work for you. You don't have to like me. I won't work for everybody, but those that I do work for, hopefully, I work for powerfully. The things that I do or say help them understand their world and their work in a way that makes them better, that makes them more effective, and that's all you can hope for. On the flip side of that is, as a coach or a practitioner, you have to realize that not everybody will like you, and that's not only expectable, but it is right and it is good. See, no matter what you do, failure is scary. But if we are to embrace failure, sometimes we have to think about this thing logically and realize that no matter how good you are in life, there are people who are not going to like you. I mentioned this when I talk about dealing with haters, but I think it's just as relevant when we think about dealing with failure. For you to deliver a speech, or even for you to serve as a scrum master in front of a team, and have 2 or 3 people on that team not really understand you or not really like you, is not necessarily an indication of your quality. Each of us has our own particular style, and that style will work for some, and it won't be as effective for others. Well, now here's the question: what do you do with that? Realizing that one way of looking at that problem, if you're big on total accountability like I am, is to say, well, maybe I have not yet managed to influence or say things in the right way that captures their imagination, that builds the trust that they need, or that entertains and enlightens them. Certainly that's one way to go about it. I don't think we should ever look at a situation and say, well, nothing I can do, I certainly can't improve, so I guess it just wasn't meant to be. But then there is a certain limit, a certain point at which you have to realize you're not going to reach everybody. Some people just won't get you, and that's okay. The sweet spot, the fine balance, I think, is to do everything you can to improve in such a way that you can build empathy with everyone and anyone in a room to the best of your ability, and the very small number that you can't catch will decrease over time. But regardless, I think this is why it's so important to have so many different voices in our industry. Different coaching models, different firms offering different kinds of services and different angles of attack for implementing Agile in a way that generates results for the customers that we serve. So that's something to contemplate for the week. To what extent do we as practitioners strive to please everybody? And recognizing that that's not a worthy goal, then you have to ask the question, how much is enough? And the answer lies in just keep improving, keep iterating, keep learning techniques to expand your reach, your trust, your influence, your ability as a leader, as a changer of minds, as a destroyer of the resistance. But never, ever, ever get caught up in the few that you miss. Sometimes you get out there and you just don't catch them. Maybe there'll be a second chance, maybe there won't be. But you can't let it influence how you think about yourself as a changer of hearts and minds. Guys, always a pleasure. Happy to hear from you. If you have any comments, questions, or feedback, you can find me at badassagile.com, on Instagram at badassagile, and on Twitter at badass_agile. Look forward to next time. Until then, stay badass.